Like I was that was a surprise when we got Josh Jacobs 2 summers ago. That was, well, I guess last summer. When we got him going into this last season, I was shocked. I was just like, what? Like the Packers really made a trade to get Josh. Like they made a move to get a free agency move. Yeah. So free agency moves. We Josh Jacobs. I remember when we got Julius Peppers, that was a big deal. When we got Charles Woodson, that was a big deal in Packerland, but it was like kind of like an afterthought because I think people thought that Charles Woodson was kind of done. He had already played like 8 years of his career, so they probably thinking like he's on the back end. And then for him to have like a better second half of his career, after being like a solid starter for a long time with the Raiders. When we got Reggie White, that was a big deal, right? So, but like trades, I don't think I've seen too many trades that we've made. Now in recent years, I guess we traded Devonte Adams, and we got some draft picks, right? So that was big. And then when we finally got rid of Aaron Rodgers, we got some draft picks. But like those were guys that were like on the tail end of their careers. But for them to get Micah Parsons, who just turned 26 in the springtime, so his is his 26-year-old season, like for us to get somebody like that, it's like unprecedented. So like, and for us to give up what we gave up, right? So we gave up 2 first round draft picks. So like that's we're mortgaging our future on Micah Parsons. So that's one thing that kind of makes me a little bit uneasy. Then we resigned him, right? And we gave him a big contract. And that's the thing. It was all summer. We've been trying to get a pass rusher all summer, all off season for real. So Miles Garrett, we like everybody was like thinking like, oh, we can get Miles Garrett. And then but then it just seemed like no, the Packers don't do that. The Packers are not going to spend money on a guy like Miles Garrett. They're just not going to. And then Miles Garrett ended up taking the bag and going back to the Browns. Then I did hear Michael Parsons' name one time, once or twice, just quick, but it was never nothing came of it. Trey Hendrickson was the biggest. That was like we was like kept hearing about him. We're gonna get this pass rusher. We're gonna get this pass rusher. We made no moves towards it, and then he ended up getting a little 1 year little pay bump. You know what I mean, to kind of satisfy him because I don't think he showed up to camp. And then, so I was just like, whatever, you know what I mean? I knew that Michael Parsons was in a contract dispute currently, but that had nothing to do with the Packers. So I was just like, all right, that's none of our business. That's nothing. But then, like, no, and this gives me like, I don't know. Now that we're not in the Aaron Rodgers era, like, it gives me some like reason to like think about like, yo, I think like the Packers is, because for a little bit, I ain't gonna lie, coming into this offseason now, or coming into the season, I'm thinking like, man, we made some moves, but we're not trying to get better. But this is a move that shows me that the Packers are all in, right? So no matter what happens, I cannot knock the front office for making a move like this. Like this is a this you make this move because you know that this player is going to do something for your team. It's going to re-energize your team. It's going to change like the makeup of your team. It's just going to add something to it. And then for them to make an aggressive move like this, to say we don't care where we finish next year, at the end of this offseason. We don't care how we finish the other offseason. Another Micah Parsons is not coming through that door whenever we were supposed to draft. So like we're cool. We'll take the L on that, right? And I gotta commend the Packers for going all in. So happy about that. Little bit upset about so Kenny Clark is a really good player. Two-time Pro Bowler, did not have his best season last season. He has a big contract, and his contract is not really like team friendly at all. Like it's actually a pretty bad contract. So like actually on a dollar amount per basis thing, when you look at the trade, it's not that much trade off because like Kenny Clark was due to make some serious bread. You know what I mean? Especially in the last like year of his contract, he was gonna be making some bread. So like I think there's a little bit of offsetting here when it comes to salaries. Like, so I don't even think that we need to trip right there. But then it looks like, all right, damn, like, we gave up a solid player in the inside. However, the Packers prior to Micah Parsons, we do have Xavier McKinney, which is right now he's one of the best safeties in the league. Right, had a crazy he's had a couple seasons that have been great. Last season was crazy. He had his best season of his career. So that's but like, do you game plan for a safety? No, like you game plan for like crazy defensive linemen, crazy linebackers, and edge rushers. And so now we have that player that teams have to account for, teams have to plan around. And going into this season, we did not really have that. So like, yeah, like because I like Rashawn Gary, and I think Lucas Van Ness can be good, but we haven't seen enough from them to like say for sure, like, yes, these guys are the answer. We have these guys under contract for a couple more years, so it's good. But like now with Parsons on one edge and Rashawn Gary on the other, and then it's gonna open it up for that middle. You know what I mean? So, um, just on that, right? This like let's go to the Packers, this Cowboys side. So the Cowboys are getting killed in the media right now, like getting killed in the media, and everybody is just wondering, like, how could they do this? How could they make this trade? Why would they not re-sign Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons is, some people might look at him as a generational talent, but either way, he's a cornerstone and an anchor of your defense currently, right? He's the best player on your defense. I mean, because Trayvon Diggs is okay. Like, I mean, like he kind of got exposed a little bit. I mean, he's not as good as we kind of thought. Deron Bland is good, but it's like, cornerbacks, like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really have great linebacker play. But so Micah Parsons was that game changer. I remember Micah Parsons' rookie season too, like went crazy. Micah Parsons' rookie season, he was defensive rookie of the year, but he was second in defensive player of the year voting, right? This guy in his first four seasons has had no less than 12 sacks, right? Last season was his worst season with 12 sacks, right? But every other season he has more. Um, so it's like, how do you get rid of that? How do you get rid of that person? How don't y'all come up to a compromise? How do y'all cope with this? And then the way they're coping is the way they're talking about his run defense, and they're basically saying we need to stop the run. So I guess they think that getting Kenny Clark is going to help them stop the run. But when you look at PFF grades and things like that, Micah Parsons was better at stopping the run than defensive tackle Kenny Clark, and Kenny Clark didn't really even play on a lot of run downs last season. He played on mostly passing downs because they wanted his pass rush. So yeah, some of these arguments like to justify it just don't seem valid. So like it seems like this probably was like more of a personal vendetta. Like Jerry Jones is upset with Micah. Like Micah is like, yo, I like, you supposed to take this contract that I'm giving you. You supposed to, honor it. We're gonna pay you, but like you gotta wait your turn, boy. Like, and Micah, very vocal, and he got his way out of there, and they end up making the trade. They didn't have to, and that's the thing. That's why the Cowboys are getting killed because at the end of the day, even if Micah is disgruntled, they don't have to trade him. I mean, you basically make him play because the way his contract is probably constructed to where like he has to play to kind of recoup some of that. So what does Michael bring to the table? I kind of already talked about that. He's an edge rusher. He's gonna take a lot of pressure off of the cornerbacks because we do not have a lot of cornerback depth. He's a game changing type of pass rusher where he's scary out there, man. Like he's so athletic that it gets crazy out there for teams. And like he's just somebody that you gotta really, really game plan for. I think he brings an intensity to his game and to the locker room. Now he could be a cancer to the locker room. Who knows? I think things kind of got bad in Dallas. And just too when you know they're always waffling and trying to figure out who they got to pay. Like they don't, not that Jerry Jones don't pay players, but like they are always looking. They don't pull the trigger at the right time on certain guys.